chivalry and, knights in overall, because you could spend 60 years training the art of the blade, but like then comes this peasant with a musket, and apparently he's the one dominating the battlefield.
Yeah.
That's literally what changed not just Europe but the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
And I also want to represent that magic can go down the same way.
Yeah.
That magic isn't as strong as the knightly orders. You can have just a shitload of peasants who are not good at magic, and congratulations, they can literally dominate a battlefield.
Yeah, you also reference crossbows as having that same effect, since they did as well.
Well, well, in real life, crossbows weren't a big thing other than a defensive weapon, because crossbows were mostly used by the French or the English. Almost nobody in the entirety of Europe, other than the French and the English, and maybe a couple of German miners, used the crossbow because it was very long to load, it was very heavy, and it was very tough to load.
Yeah. I
That's why
mostly meant the fact that you didn't need training to use it, while longbow you did.
no, you didn't need training. That was the benefit of the crossbow.
Yeah.
You didn't need that much training, you just needed strength.
Mm-hmm.
While on with the bow and arrow, you needed to actually hone your abilities. That's why people of the stepplands and the Mongols like dominated the field for a long time, because they mastered the art of the bow and arrow
Yeah.
and siege tactics.
Yeah. Have you thought of more plot points yet?
Well, I was thinking about the nation of Iberia orders a platoon of them, including one of my main protagonists, to sail up uh towards the invasion of England. Still don't know what to call it yet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to call it Albion, but anyway, still. And basically the naval invasion fails, and so they accidentally drop by into Ireland, which is called the Iron in fucking in what they're called. So they're dropped down. The High King of Iron and is basically supporting troops with fugitives on the line, but the nobles and the peasantry try to help them out. But then comes an invasion from England, conquering Ireland.
Yeah.
But now they're stuck between a war with a neutral nation versus a war with a hostile nation. What that is successfully taking over Ireland.
Oh, so it's one of the things where they want to travel through, but they can't without it becoming a war problem.
They need boats to get out.
Yeah.
But like the thing is, the English Navy has them trapped and bogged down, and they see almost no point in helping the High King of Iden,
Yeah.
other than try to fuck over the English. But they don't have the manpower
Yeah.
to do it. So it's most likely them just running around trying to escape the clutches of war, while at the same time being helped by the peasantry and the nobility of Iden.
Mm-hmm.
That is something that I would like to put on.
Yeah, some cool series if you want some inspiration. One involving magic would be Tanya the Evil. That's one where it's like,
I know,
yeah, it's World War One
I
with
know.
and magic.
World War One.
Yeah, and
I
then the
do. I remember.
yeah, Vinland Saga is another one you might like.
Ooh, I haven't watched it. I've only read 2 chapters of it.
It's a very good watch. Season 2 is also great,
Okay.
so I do recommend that one. What about you, Matt? Do you have any recommendations?
Ooh, for what?
Just inspiration for a story. Like any good ones you think are good for being inspiring?
Ooh, let's see. Does it have to be anime or is it like
No, anything.
anything? Hmm, that's difficult.
Now, the thing is, in this story, I don't know if I want him to be captured or if I want him to succeedfully get out of Iden.
Mm-hmm. Have
The
him just
Emerald Isle, of course.
yeah, just have him sold into slavery and him escape later.
Jesus
Yeah,
fucking
but then
Christ.
again, England didn't allow slavery for a long time. It didn't allow slavery in the 1048.
Mm,
England was one of the first nations to ban slavery in the entire world.
yeah, and they also went into a ton of debt with that.
Yes,
They went
that's
into
true.
debt till like 2014. Yeah, I think it's 2014 or 2010 they actually got out of that debt.
Yes.
Because I know Germany was done paying its World War One debts in 2010 or 14, and I forget which.
Yes.
And then, as I said, Britain, same thing, where it's just shocking that these ancient debts you thought wouldn't even be a thing are still
And
there.
yes, England did pay the price.
Yeah, kind of like
But the thing is,
oh, sorry, keep
I
going.
want to. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't
No, no,
know
I
if
don't
you
want
were
to interrupt.
one.
I always have plenty of things to talk about. I enjoy listening as well.
Because the thing is, I want to make the story good, like decent when it comes to slavery. Because most of the time, whenever an anime produces slavery or presents slavery, they mostly present it in a very weird way. Not in a because I'll be honest, the first people to enslave each other were humans, like the people like the Slavs. It was just
Yeah,
regular white people. That's where we get the word slave from.
yeah,
Um, but like I want it to be the same thing where it's like we're not going to enslave just beastmen because they're just a different race. That's not
yeah.
a thing yet.
Hmm.
That's not a thing yet. There is racial intolerance and there is cultural intolerance, but that's due to a different thing.
Yeah,
That is due to them being conquered. Like, the people who are conquered and the people who have told the story of being conquered.
yeah,
I want I want slavery to be this big thing, but then again, it's not that big in his eyes.
yeah.
Because most people who look at slavery, they don't think of freeing the slaves at first.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Hey,
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker, we're just talking about freeing slaves and how most
Oh
you
yeah.
wouldn't think to
Wait,
free them
why
at
are we only
first.
talking about that now?
Oh,
Well,
right.
to be fair, there are more slaves today than there have been at any point in history.
Well,
That is true.
see,
That
the
that
thing
is
is this:
that is a
it's
big
not one
problem.
specific race; it's all races, like the Romans did.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, the Roman slavery has been shown to be more of indentured servitude into becoming citizens. Not
Yeah,
that I'm
I mean,
defending Rome. Rome was horrifically
well,
brutal and would kill for very little reason.
yeah, crucify that man on the cross.
Yeah, or fall on
Yeah.
your own sword because you feel some shame.
And not as bad as the
Okay.
Japanese, though. It's nowhere near
Yeah.
as bad as the Japanese.
Well, it's more
Yeah, that's
historically
true.
comparing for time period. Like Rome was brutal, but not compared to others at the time.
Yeah, actually, a little bit. They were a little more brutal, though.
But a little,
Like,
but not to such an
like
extreme.
stringing an entire city on crosses on their main roads, which is honestly for the time period not that weird.
No, it isn't, because I mean, like Genghis Khan, when one city defied him, he
Genghis
said
Khan probably
kill
was the worst.
everyone bigger than a wagon wheel.
What about Tamerlane, guys?
What's that?
Tamerlane, he's one of the top four people who have done atrocities.
Oh,
Like number one is Mao, number two is Stalin, number three is Hitler, number four is like a guy
It's so
from
funny
I
to
don't
think
remember.
about that Hitler's number three.
yeah. Well,
Yes.
both. Well, it's two communists. Number one. That's the reason, and they had
Right.
big population.
Right, they had massive populations. Hell, the amount that they just killed their own population that was supporting them
Yeah. Well, that's what makes it crazy. Hitler's numbers, the majority
were
of
people
them.
who were against him.
Yeah. Well,
But we don't know that
not even
much
just
about
that.
He
North
was
Korea.
against, I would say. He was against them.
No,
Not,
well, the thing is, the Bolsheviks were a minority in Russia, but the thing is, like, the Mensheviks didn't mind being ruled over by the Bolsheviks, and that's what created that stupid, like, you know what? They're never going to revolt because they're Russian. They're all Russian in same
Why are
blood.
there so many specific vehicles that are for sale?
Oh, all of those are being removed from the store at September 30th. So they're putting them on 50%. If you don't buy them, they'll
Are they
only
being removed?
to keep
Removing them from the tech tree.
keep FOMO. You know how it is. You
I
know
guess they're all really useless vehicles.
that's why they're taking them off the store.
Yeah,
Oh
like the
my God.
Havoc Mark One, that thing is ass.
I actually want the Havoc Mark One, being honest.
I wouldn't personally because 400 or 500 pounds are nice, but then those 7.7s, man.
Yeah, for me, it's just because I like low tier, so I want a nice full tech tree options.
Actually, now that I think about it, it is better than no. The Hampton is better actually. The Hampton is better than the Havoc.
How did
Oh, I also just recently got the tank destroyer for the first tank destroyer for the Italians.
I think
is
the
that the
only one
car?
that's really
No, not
the
not
only
that
one
one.
that's good.
It's an actual tank destroyer.
Oh,
It's like tier 3.
By the way, I'm looking through it. I think the only good one might be the Japanese Fokker.
yeah. To be fair,
Interesting.
Fokker Wolf.
and even then, it's just a
That's like
Fokker
the
Wolf.
Right. The American Zero is not great. To be fair, it has the Japanese 20 mils at that battle rating, which aren't the best.
Yeah.
Germany having the Wellington, which is a bad one. Yeah, actually, the Wellington is just terrible. I don't know why you would want it at that VR.
It is. It used to be good because the thing is, you have to remember, is historical matchmaking was a thing. At the time, there would never be a Wellington on a
Actually,
German team
you
ever.
know what is the most useless one? The Russian I-16 Type 28.
Yeah.
It is the Type 27 with a, I think, worse climb rate.
Yeah. Oh, but getting back on topic of horrible atrocities,
Yeah.
what's it called? I do find it crazy. You only hear about the top 3. I legitimately don't know much of anything of the number 4. Like, isn't Pol Pot on that list too? Isn't he another
Pol Pot,
communist?
yes.
Hold on. Let me get him. Let me just get him up. Let
Yeah.
me see.
Yeah, find that list. And the craziest thing
Probably
too is
Kim as well.
the craziest thing too is Hitler's numbers involve him hunting down people during a war. You know, like so killing Jews
I
everywhere.
remember Pol Pot. No, he's really bad, actually.
No, I'm saying he is. I actually have some money with his face on it.
What do we know about North Korea then?
Yeah, 1.5 to 2 million people.
North Korea, I think one thing is there's a lot of different leaders who have been in charge.
The thing about him, he's killed like 25% of his own population.
That's insane. But what's it called? Mao Zedong's numbers, the official number when you look it up that puts him in first, mind you, is the short bit of his career under what's it called? The Great Leap Forward, which is where he's like, no one gets food, which is the standard communist thing, and we're going to modernize. That's the only number on that list for that 50 million.
They haven't even included like everyone who's put through persecution or labor or mass executions.
Yeah, none of that, just the starvations, and that's the CCP's number, mind you. The same one that wants to tell you that a million Uyghurs aren't actively being,
Okay, I have the list here. Mao Zedong, 65 million. Joseph Stalin, 40
It's probably
million.
more than 65.
Oh, it is a lot more.
It is no, it is. It's in between 65 to 100 million or
It's
120 million.
definitely- I bet you it's definitely more than that.
Yeah. Because the thing is,
Yeah.
he was actually a warlord before becoming anything CCP related.
Yes, he was a war.
Only
He was
imagine what-
technically he was the up and coming leader of said clique near Shangji.
Yeah, and then
Even
Chiang
Pol Pot,
Kai-shek
right?
and stuff.
So, actually, here's the thing, right? So it's actually Mao Zedong, Joseph Stalin, Adolf Hitler, then Leopold II of Belgium.
Oh, wait, what? Didn't he do a bunch of horrible stuff in South America?
Yeah, Pol Pot is barely
No.
even near the top 10. He's like
Leopold did 10 million, Matt. Like
he's
kill
the
10
number 7.
million.
Pol Pot's number 7.
Who,
He's
wait,
only number 7.
who else is on that list?
George Bush.
Hideki Tojo, Japan.
Yeah, I do have Hidoki Tojo.
Kim Il Sung, with the 1.6 million. That's a lot. Actually, if you think about it, he didn't have that much of a population and killed that many people.
Yeah. But another thing too is Mao Zedong's numbers don't count the schools he and pretty much had children killing their teachers. It doesn't count. There was one time what he did he invited all of his people he did not like, anyone who dislikes me, write about it so that I can grow as a person, and then killed all of them.
Hmm.
Oh, Matzo, did you disconnect or
No, I just invited you and.
What battle rating are you guys doing, by the way?
We're doing arcade at the moment.
What battle rating?
5-3.
5-3.
5-3. Okay. Um, Russia's not at 5-3, so I'll have to do.
Can you
I don't
invite me
understand
again?
why they.
No,
I don't
I'm
understand
gonna be
why they
Russian.
have the. Oops, sorry, man.
You're fine. Keep saying what you were saying.
No, I was about to say I don't know why Saddam Hussein is on this list, even though he did not start a genocide. He had a race war, yeah, but he didn't have genocide. Nicholas the
Hussein
Second.
isn't great. He didn't kill that many people though. That was people killing each other. He
I'm
wasn't the
so
one who was.
yeah. It's just there's a lot of websites where it's just wrong. I mean, like
Right, but
literally
there was
Augusto
websites that
Pinochet.
undershoot how much Mao Zedong killed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the worst part about, like, okay, so Stalin, same thing, where a lot of his numbers aren't acknowledged. Obviously his
my
is more
God.
accurate. His
Oh wait, there's a new Sea Fury. I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
that's the only prop added this update.
And it's to France. The French get the Sea Fury, which actually, wait, I think I get a better one than the British version. FB11, right?
But
And then
what's it called? And the thing is too,
What?
I get
Hitler's number is probably the most accurate when it comes to the level of documentation. Where like if
it's
they
because they documented it so well.
Yeah, well, also the thing is what they, everything that could be blamed on him is in that statistic because
Hmm.
they lost. So we also were able to get a lot of info. There was a lot of trials for everyone involved.
But did the insats groups
Hmm?
document everything? You
Did
know,
the
the
what
kill squad,
groups?
Fuck.
the
Oh, the
kill squads.
Einstaatsgruppen. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
killed about, I think it was 2 million is the Einstaatsgruppen number for how
yeah.
many.
But
Oh, I didn't
there's
realize.
probably
So Silas,
Yeah.
a
you know
lot
what's
of.
crazy? So France getting the Sea Fury is literally just basically a side rig. So the Narval, right?
Hmm.
It's basically a better version of the Narval. It gets busted fucking rockets, 8 of them, by the way. Flies better, climbs better, and has the Mark V Hispanos.
Nice.
Oh my god, that's crazy. Why the fuck? I mean, I'm not complaining because that's another French buff, but like, damn.
Yeah.
I
Also,
might
did you
actually
hear
have to look at
Chiquita Bananas just got convicted of hiring terrorist kill squads?
all right.
it. No one talks about the U.S. hiring the insurgencies.
Oh, well, that too, but also I said that's, we find
That's the
out
U.S.
30 years, 50 years later is when we find out.
They admit it and they're like, but it happened already and we are sorry.
Yes. You're like,
That's
oh,
the type of
sorry we
shit
were
that happens.
using Agent Orange over here. Like, what's it called?
But it happened years ago and we gave them like $10 each.
Yeah, like the Gulf
Yeah.
War, all of our soldiers this one you might find interesting. During the Gulf
The
War,
Gulf
there's
War was terrible.
a weird sickness that only Gulf War soldiers had, where they had horrible symptoms and a large variety, and no one wanted to really document what it was.
Was
The
it due to burn pits?
I don't think it's because of burn pits. It was the only valid guess is it was sarin gas that was being used. That
It probably was.
that was just they were getting light dosages of a ton. So
Because they
they
were
were
Yeah.
always being there. They were always in contact.
Yeah, and sarin gas is a scary one because it's one of those paralyzing agent ones where it just stops your breathing entirely.
I forgot how fast the LA-7 is, by the way.
I mean, it also makes sense for the reason the U.S. Used it is because the Iraqis also used chemical warfare against the Iranians.
Yeah,
By the way, why does the LA-7 have such a good turn time? There's no reason it should be this good.
it's Russian. It needs to be better at everything.
You're right.
The
You're
only
right.
thing it
That's
lacks
true.
is ammo.
The only thing they're bad about is gun depression. Even the ammo, you can like deal with it if you're used to playing jets.
Yeah.
But
Hello,
like making this
J2M.
maneuverable and this fast is so absurd, bro. Like, look at this shit.
Oh no. I'll go for the SW.
Here comes another LA7.
I lost control.
Oh damn! I'm coming in on that LA7. I'm coming to help you, Mats.
So destroyed.
How's this? Oh, J2M. How are you still alive? There's a dude behind you.
I'm flying in vertical.
Hello, LA7. Hi, buddy. I'm you. There's a stamina meter now. Or
There
percentage
is?
thing I can see. Not stamina meter. I can see the percentage I have for stamina. Also, I
Wow.
pilot snipe that guy.
Nice. But, trying to think of any other horrible ones. I think I'm kind of tuckered out. What's it called? Obviously, you have the ones that aren't talked about that America has done. Now, I said I'm an American lover. I love America. But it's important to know what our government has done.
See, the problem is when people don't acknowledge it.
Yeah, like, I believe it's
just like-
important to be patriotic, love your country, to improve it. You know, but you have to come from a good place when it comes to actually knowing what we have done wrong.
I think it's
Oh,
the fact that
so-
people are ignorant, and at the same time, people think any criticism is actually just trying to offend someone.
Yeah,
Speaking of patriotism, have you ever seen my room, Silas?
I have
Oh.
not.
I'm
Yeah.
possibly concerned right now.
You want me to turn on my camera?
I'm busy playing.
Yeah, but after, definitely. What's it called? If we're talking about
Okay.
concerning, my mom got me a... Okay, so I will counter it first with one thing I own. I own a first edition American or English translation of Mao Zedong's Little Red Book. It's insane what it
Oh,
talks
no.
about. Whereas,
Oh,
like,
it is a very wild one, especially
Yeah.
considering my parents came from China and my grandparents used to live there.
did they ever have to own it like your grandparents, or are they at the right age?
I have no idea, actually. I'm quite curious about that too. They moved over to the U.S. a little bit because it was just better life.
Yeah. But,
Oh damn, you're Asian?
I am.
yeah, he's actually like Mandarin Chinese. What's the like proper term?
I'm Fujianese, so I'm from
Oh.
the coastal area.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm from the coast. Well, I'm Asian American.
Yo, you know, I know you're Asian American.
Yeah.
Like I'm technically
Well, 'cause
Scottish to
when
some
you
degree.
talk to me, it's hard to tell I'm Asian. To be
Yeah.
fair.
But
Yeah, no, you sound completely American. Like you had me fooled for like whenever I first met you.
No, I don't care personally. It's just always very
I get it.
interesting to talk about this stuff because
I get it.
hate to do that stuff. So like for them, I'm actually quite curious too because I went to their village that
mhm.
they were born, like grew up in, and
Yeah.
it's also getting. Oh, by the way, crazy thing. You know how people talk about like China's economy is apparently booming.
I know
No, it's not.
no one's saying besides
No,
China,
no.
no one's saying that.
Other than China,
Yeah.
right? So China is doing so terribly, in fact, that whole cities are actually moving out of there and going to the
Yes.
U.S.
It's
Yeah,
true.
and through Mexico, and they're not all of them
Yeah.
are making it. So
The
Mexico,
cartel, they literally are the cartel's most high-paying customers.
yeah, and now Mexico has to deal with illegal immigrants just like America. It's just a different
Yeah, but-
flavor now.
Yeah, but then again, Mexico literally can't do anything because they have the only controlling sector that they have is the capital.
Oh, I didn't know
But
that.
Yeah,
who do you think runs half of
didn't you-
Mexico? And who's
yeah,
the
didn't
most
you-
known for running it? The cartel.
Silas, didn't you hear about like a few months back that the cartels literally sieged down the city of Leon?
I did not hear that. I know the cartel's strong.
No, they
Oh yeah,
basically
no,
own
stronger.
Mexico.
No, they literally got stronger like last year.
Oh,
Now they have actual full-blown military equipment now. Now
Is
they're
it-
sieging down cities.
who's giving it to them? Is it like Americans or is it like China?
No, they're just buying it off. They're just
Buying it off
they're just
Temu?
buying and
Right.
stealing it off. Yeah.
Operation Fast and Furious.
Hi. We're talking
Yeah.
about
If I
Well.
remember correctly, I think it's because they're intercepting all like things the actual government of Mexico is trying to get, and they just take it from them.
Oh.
Yeah,
Because
Yeah,
yeah,
the top-
how limited like the actual government of Mexico's control is.
Why?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. There's no way that Mexico's gonna get rid of the cartels with their current police force.
Yeah. I forget. Parrot,
they
are
need
you
a military
Venezuelan or what were you again? You had mentioned.
But me? Who?
Yeah.
What?
I forget. Are you Venezuelan or like what were you again?
I'm Ecuadorian.
Ecuador. Okay, wait, isn't Ecuador now doing like has the cool young president who's like getting rid of all the like murder rate and stuff?
No, that's El Salvador.
El Salvador, not Ecuador. Okay, yeah, because I
El
know.
Salvador is the one with the more radical decision.
Yeah, but
Yes.
he's actually dealing with it, and in the end,
Yes.
He's
yeah.
doing it very well, actually, because the people back at people say it's like a humanities person tried intervening, but at the same time, the entire population is backing it.
Well, here's the other thing too.
Yeah. He's a Democrat. He's a democratically elected dictator. He was fairly elected, and he armed all the police officers and kicked their fucking ass and became a
But
ruthless
to be
dictator. I
fair,
love it.
he
I,
kind
I
of
respect
needed
it.
to.
Yeah. No, I
It's
respect
respectable
it.
because he's not violating like the actual population's rights.
Yeah.
Yes.
Notice it. Like he actually is like improving upon the in place government systems.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
Um.
so and it's not like he's what's it called killing the criminals either.
yeah, they're just in
Not
jail.
yet. I hope he
Right,
does.
imprisoning.
Well, no, no,
Some of them
no.
are really
Here's what
bad.
he is doing.
Like some of
He's
the ringleaders are really bad. Some people don't though, but other ones like the ringleaders do deserve it.
yeah. No, what's it called? One thing he is doing. He's defiling their graves. He's going to the grave sites of those people and getting rid of them to remove the encouragement to, be a horrible gangster like that and be allowed to have this nice tombstone while you have
Yeah.
like
He's
children killed.
disallowing. I like it. He's making fucking criminals second-class citizens, and I fucking respect that.
Well, it makes sense because they've had a what's it called? They've had a
Yeah.
history of problems relating to
Yes.
criminals. Literally, there
They-
have been no like their entire history has been littered with criminal activity.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
same issue with Colombia. Colombia has been known for cocaine.
Well, it's been known for a lot of things. Coffee was
Right,
one of them,
but
and now it's
the
cocaine.
biggest is cocaine, right?
Yeah.
And they've been attempting to try it as if that's stopping them. What's it called? Venezuela is now doing that too.
But then again, it's different in El Salvador than it is in Colombia because El Salvador is mostly flatlands. It's mostly urban sprawl.
Right,
It's
Colombia
like
is
then Colombia has jungles, coasts, mountains.
and then they're
Like
going
what would,
to Chile, which has the Andes and everything.
no, down south is Ecuador and Peru.
No, I'm saying below that is Chile, and they have the Andes, which is where a lot of them.
Well,
reside.
The Andes
heavy
goes
mountains.
from Colombia to Venezuela. I'm not I mean Colombia to Chile. Yes. Just recently, the cartels finally got a hold in Ecuador.
Mhm.
Ecuador was mostly known as the little. It was kind of like the Switzerland of South America. There was
Right.
almost no crime. There was a lot of corruption. Yes, there's corruption in almost every South American nation or Latin
Like
American
the
nation.
nature of them, to be fair.
Yeah, the only one that doesn't have a shitload of corruption is Chile,
Mhm.
and it doesn't have cartels
Chile?
either. Yeah,
Chile is very nice, also.
Chile.
But
It's a
that's
very
thanks to-
free country.
but that's just because of like that goes back to Spanish colonialism because there was almost nothing to find in Chile. Chile was literally known as a useless plot of land, and the Spanish literally paid no attention to Chile. They
Right,
literally
but they
just
don't
were
let
like,
people actually like develop
yeah, they had an iron fist in Peru, they had an iron fist in Granada, and they also had an iron fist in like the Rio de Plata, but they basically were so lenient with Chile, they didn't care what would happen because there was no gold to be found there. There's mostly fish and
which was a commodity,
and some
not
iron
really
mine.
a commodity. It was just a necessity, so it's just like a whatever type thing.
Yeah,
Wait, I
and
heard my
then
name mentioned.
no,
Maybe it's
no
not
fish.
like you fish.
Not you,
Wrong
fish.
fish.
Wrong fish.
Where was I?
You were in. Oh yeah, fish. Here's a fun fact for fish-related one for you. Death Valley has a giant lake in it, and it's got fish in it. The dry.
It is incredibly salty in there, though.
I've been there.
No,
Really
not.
not very pleasant.
But no,
The other fish are pretty mean there. Very
Death
hot-headed.
Valley has a underwater lake. You don't see it. It's full of like thought to be long extinct cave
Aren't they
fish.
called like pupfish or
No,
like that.
pupfish is a different one. I don't remember what they are, but
No,
they.
it's literally called a devil's hole puff fish. That is actually what's in Death Valley.
Hello, wife.
Yeah, it's actually a
How
species.
about that, wife?
I'm not even kidding with you, Silas. It's actually a species called pupfish.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of weird
Interesting.
fish. Like there's one fish
They're
that eats
endangered
wood.
and all because there's not many of them, but they're all found in
Talking
the
about
Devil's
fish in
Hole.
Death Valley.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Drugs.
yeah, back to like the
Drugs.
person who then inherited
Drugs.
Chile was just a lot of people that just
Drugs.
kept no Chile
Doing
is
drugs.
not the one that no fish. I'll kiss
Oh
you.
Drugs.
my god!
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Oh,
kiss you in the mouth.
On.
he blew up
Max,
your.
I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, sorry, I saw it. I heard
Did
it.
you watch that happen?
Yeah.
No.
Holy shit, bro! What the fuck?
It was quite an explosion. Oh, this
I
guy
was
is
like,
dead.
it's about there, and he was just instantly evaporated. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Let's get these last guys.
Another thing I don't like as well is when people talk about bad things one nation's done, they always like to act like the other nation was completely not at fault also. Like you can't.
Every nation's usually at
Yeah.
fault for most things.
Yeah.
Most.
Like as I said, Ukraine should not
What do
be
you mean
being
America's
attacked.
never done something wrong?
Oh my god. Like Ukraine is definitely in the right for defending itself, but you have to admit
Oh, yeah.
they
Yeah.
are as corrupt as Russia,
Oh, he's
generally
coming for
Yeah.
speaking.
you. Good job.
There goes another.
Oh, one more.
Yeah, when their higher ups are leaving with briefcases full of American cash.
Well, because, like, when was the last time you heard Ukraine doing economically well off?
Yeah.
Right? Like, when was the last time anyone heard from that? And that
Nope.
says something.
Yeah,
I think
no.
that's all that needs to be said about it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. The only time I've ever heard of Ukraine actually doing something was when they were trying to fix their economy. One guy relied on Russia. He got immediately not elected. The next
Yeah.
guy, Zelensky,
And the fact that
comedian.
they were trying to join the EU, and then you know, they have so much strict gun control, and then they literally about a few seconds later, indiscriminately armed their entire populace.
Yep. And that also created the fascists in Europe, in Ukraine to rise up and then fight the army.
Oh, but what? That's
Yeah.
currently happening. There's like fascists lurking.
I mean, yeah, like it's not a great idea to having, like Fish said. Literally, what Fish said was, yes, it had a very tight gun control, but they then literally armed everybody. That includes the communists, the fascists, and many other groups
Did
that
they
don't
actually
align with the
destroy
government.
base with one
Yeah.
bomb?
And are we talking like proper armed or like here's a handgun?
Like proper
Um,
rifles.
Like here's an
Yeah.
AK-74
Oh.
Yeah, to fight the
and a
Russians.
shit ton of armor.
Oh,
Ammo,
so
sorry.
the symptoms is even when this war is done, there'll be tons of military surplus in the hands of Ukrainian gangs.
Yes. By the end of this, it's not going to be surprising that there's going to
Alright,
be
the war's over.
those-
Time to turn in your stuff.
It
What are you
means not
talking about? They
surprising
did
if
not
Ukraine
have.
literally has a civil war.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about? They did not have gun. They had
Like-
Molotov and slingshot.
I don't agree with Ukraine on a lot of things. I agree it's in its right to defend itself, like Silas just said.
I think it's
But then again-
for a good reason it needs to defend itself because if we
Yeah.
allow that to other nations, it'd be terrible. But at the same
Yes.
time, too, it's just like it's such a
Hi, Tiger.
interesting.
This is literally what Hitler did
Oh my
during World War II.
gosh! I
Literally
just
appeasement.
machine gun ported a Tiger H1
Nice.
All right,
Anyway,
from 200 yards. Like no, wait, no,
Oh,
no,
was it
800
200
yards?
oh, okay, that's still
why
impressive.
Does the PE8 turn so well when it's an arcade? Like genuinely more.
All the
arcade better than
bombers.
it should.
All the bombers in
Wait, which-
arcade turn like they're like
Actually, no.
biplanes.
Then again, the PE8
Fighters.
turns better in realistic mode than it
I'm gonna be
should.
honest. I've never used planes in arcade.
It's very fun, actually.
I believe it.
Mhm.
I just don't have planes for Italy. I have planes for Japan. I literally
So
chose
you
a
can
grind
use your
Hey
own
guys, don't gonna
planes in
drop a bomb. You
arcade.
think? Hey, how much damage do you think that's doing? Ah,
Dude, it's just
that's a
think
lot.
of the benefits. Like think of the